Well, today is the day that I'm finally going to be saying goodbye to my near complete N64 collection. It's really kind of insane. Over the past 9-10 years, I have been trying my absolute hardest to collect every single N64 game released with its box and its manual. And honestly, I'm damn close to being done that goal. Now what you see in front of me here, some of the rarest games for the console. We have Super Bowling right here, we have Stunt Racer, we have Beast Wars over here. Some of the most expensive games I am going to be selling off, trading off now, and calling it quits on the full N64 set. Now, all said and done, I actually did get to 267 out of 296 games. That's 29 games that I do not own for N64. That's it. 29. And of all of them, about 230 are complete in box, and of those games, about 90 of them are factory sealed. So as you're hearing, it's damn close to being a full complete collection, which begs some of the questions of what am I still missing? Why am I quitting the collection now? What did I trade them for? Which is exactly what we're going to get into with this video. Let me just clear some of these off so I have a little bit of talking space in front of me here. So let's just start by talking about why I decided to quit the complete N64 collection. And the simplest way I can put it is I'm just no longer passionate about it. It's no longer a goal of mine. It's no longer fun to chase after them. Collecting a full library of games for any console is purely a passion project. There really is no other way to put it. In most instances, it's not a good investment to buy up every single game on a console. A lot of the games are pretty much worthless, and a lot of them don't have good future prospects because they're pretty random games. A lot of you guys watching may have never even heard of a game such as Fighter's Destiny 2, or back here I have a game like Monaco Grand Prix 64, both of which are pretty damn rare and expensive these days, but unless you're going for the full set, not many people really want to buy these types of games. And of course, if we're going to talk about completing a full set library of games, we have to talk about prices. These days, games like Super Bowling, Stunt Racer, these are games that cost multiple thousands of dollars to get them complete in box. There's no way around it. And that change in price really does affect this decision as well. Which maybe you're thinking now, oh, it's probably too expensive to finish the N64 set. He doesn't want to spend the money on it. Realistically speaking, this month, I could finish the N64 set if I really wanted to. There's nothing that expensive that I'm missing. The expensive games that I still don't own are Duck Dodgers, Carmageddon 64, and Star Soldier Vanishing Earth. Those are the 3 games that would still be pretty expensive if I wanted to finish the set. Well, what about Clay Fighter, Greg? I don't see that anywhere on the table. To which I would answer, what about Clay Fighter? So, you know, having Clay Fighter off the list, it really isn't a monetary thing anymore as to why I want to quit the collection. Yes, it would cost me some money to finish the set, maybe $5,000, let's say, at absolute most. But really, it's gotten to a point of, it feels more like a chore than fun for me now. Just the thought of going out onto eBay and checking off these last few boxes just feels daunting. And as far as the accomplishment or achievement, the best way I can explain it is like this. You know when you're playing an RPG and you've gotten to a point in the game where you could technically go beat the last boss, finish the game if you wanted to. Your characters are high enough levels, you have the stats, all you have to do is literally go and spend the time beating the game, beating the last boss, beating the bonus boss, whatever it is. All you have to do is put in the time to do it. That's pretty much where I'm at with the N64 set. At any time, I could go and finish the set if I wanted to, but the actual accomplishment or achievement of doing it, I feel like I've already achieved the full set without having to go and actually finish it. A lot of the sense of accomplishment was proving to myself that I could do it if I wanted to. And in getting games like Beast Wars, Super Bowling, Stunt Racer, Daikatana, in knocking all of these off, I proved to myself that it could be done, and that in my own heart and brain, I did do it. You know what I mean? No, I can't go post on the internet or brag that like, oh, here's my full N64 collection. And that's completely okay. For myself, that type of achievement, that type of goal just isn't what I want anymore with life. You know, having started this set over 10 years ago, I would have been 18 at the time. And from 18 to 25, life is a lot different than when you're nearing 30 years old. I sit here at 28 years old. I sit here in a rental property now where I have no space to even display any of this collection. Most of my N64 collection still sits at mom's house, bless her heart for holding it for me. And as I get older and goals change and priorities change, I don't want 296 N64 games to have to take care of. I don't want to have to store them. I don't want to have to think about them. It just, life changes. And I touched on this a bit in my Does Collecting Suck in 2022 video, where people are dynamic. We are always changing. Our goals, priorities, everything about us. And collections also should be dynamic in that purpose. What we wanted 5 years ago may not be what we want now. And that's just with life. That's not just with collecting. That's your priorities and goals in life might change. 5-10 years ago, we were all greatly different people than we are right now. And of course it's hard, it's weird for me to be selling off this collection that I've put so much time, effort, and passion into. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of weight in this decision, but it's something that I've been thinking about now for well over a year. Thinking about if I should break this collection, when I want to, what I'm gonna do with the money if I do. And for this deal, I am getting trade plus cash. So I am not just selling it all outright, I am also trading for some sealed and graded games, which I will show off for you guys as soon as I get them in. And that was part of why I wanted to break it up too. I am moving more into sealed and graded video games these days, so having the opportunity to turn some of this into sealed and graded games was the last little oomph I needed in order to break up the set. Now that the set has been broken, it's going to be a lot easier selling off additional pieces in the future. It really is getting over the hump of that first sale though. That first sale is the one that is really the hardest. With all of that said though, I did write down on a sticky note here some of the different prices that I did pay over the years, so let's just talk about it a little bit more. Let's start with Super Bowling, right? Random ass rare bowling game that's worth a ton of money. The funny thing about Super Bowling is that I actually did receive this game as a child for my birthday. So inside of here is my original cartridge and my original manual. So the first time I actually bought Super Bowling for my collection was in 2012. I bought a factory sealed version of the game for 500 Canadian. And then I sold that copy for 680 bucks. The next time I bought Super Bowling was actually 2019. Only 3 years ago, and I paid 650 Canadian for a CIB copy of the game. And then I actually sold the cartridge and the manual for $470. 3 years ago, a cartridge and manual only sold for $470. That's insane. Let's talk about Stunt Racer, Blockbuster exclusive, extremely rare to find, complete in box. The first and only time I bought Stunt Racer was back in 2016, and I actually did pay full market value for it at the time. So this was a cash plus trade deal. I paid the guy $300 Canadian, plus I also traded him complete in box copies of Goof Troop, Pilot Wings, Super Punch-Out, and then also cartridges of Kirby's Dream Land 3, Wayne World, Bart's Nightmare, Batman, Turtles 4, and Mortal Kombat 3. I think at the time the full trade value was around 650 Canadian. But you can see that even back then, like, this game was expensive and was valuable. Even trying to put together the full set, if we go back 5 years, it's not like these games were super cheap and affordable. They still were, relatively speaking, extremely expensive. And that was actually a local deal that I made with a guy. Jason, I don't know if you watch these videos or not, but if you do, put a comment down below, man. Absolutely insane to think about. And just one more, you guys might be curious, Beast Wars, another game that was a rental exclusive and had retail release. So the box I have here is the exclusive version. You can see the little Blockbuster logo there at the bottom of the box. There is also a box variant that does not have the Blockbuster logo. But anyways, the first time I bought this game, complete in box, was January 2013, and I paid $172 Canadian in order to get Beast Wars complete in box. The change in prices really does make full set collecting now pretty much impossible. And that is a part of game collecting that really has been affected, is full set collecting. If we go back 5-10 years, full set collecting was very realistic. For $10,000 back then, you probably could have got the whole set complete in box. For $10,000 now, you might not even get a Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. But that just is life. That just is what it is. There's no going back to that, and I doubt we ever will get prices back to that point. It is just kind of crazy to think about and reflect over the years how much has changed with collecting. It still is as fun and rewarding as it ever has been, but you really just have to prioritize now what you want to do. No longer can you collect everything. You really have to narrow down and decide what it is you want to focus on. And with me selling all of these complete in box N64 games and breaking up the complete collection, this is me really narrowing down and better prioritizing what I want to focus on at this point in my life. But anyways, I've got to finish packing up these games and get them shipped off to their new owner. Once you see some of the games I received in trade, you're going to better understand why I was willing to get rid of the games I was. Put in the comments below if you've ever tried to collect a full set of games, or if you've also broken up your full set of games over the years. I'm really curious to know. Make sure to hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.